Hi everyone, and welcome back to the series where we solve data problems in both SQL and Pandas. Today's challenge is to find users with high token usage. We have a table prompt and we need to output prompt count and average tokens per user ID. However, we have a lot of conditions that we need to consider. For example, the average tokens should be rounded to 2 decimal places. We need to include only users who have submitted at least 3 prompts and at least 1 prompt with tokens greater than their own average token usage. The result table should be ordered by average tokens and by user ID. In SQL, we first write the derived table. We write the select statement. In the select statement, we include user ID, tokens, because we will have to find the average of those tokens, and the new columns that we will have to aggregate. Instead of using the group bys in the derived table, we will use SQL window functions. In order to count prompt count, we write the function count, and here we indicate the partition. Our partition is user ID. Partition is nothing else as a cluster or a group of user IDs. In order to calculate the average tokens, first we need to cast the column tokens. We will cast this column as float, and then we calculate the average. Since we need an average of all tokens per user ID, our partition here should be also by user ID. Let's check our derived table. In the output, we have the same amount of rows, but we have 2 additional columns. We calculate the count and average tokens per each user without decreasing the amount of rows, like we would do that through group by clause. Now let's build the outer query. For the outer query, we write the select statement, and we want to display user ID, prompt count, and average tokens, which we need to round by 2 decimal places. In the where clause, we filter our table. As required, we need the prompt count to be greater or equal to 3. Tokens should be greater than average tokens. In order to get rid of duplicates, we group by user ID, prompt count, and average tokens. The last step, we order by average tokens descending and by user ID ascending. Now let's run the query. We successfully solved this problem in SQL. Now let's move on to Pandas. In Pandas, we need to calculate user level metrics and map them back to the rows. We take the data frame prompts and group by user ID. We count the prompts and append it to the dataset. This new column we will call prompt count. The same we will do for average tokens. Using group by combined with transform makes it very easy to filter rows where the tokens exceed the user's average. The amount of rows that we have in the dataset stays the same because we calculated the count and the average for each user ID and appended to the dataset. If we would use only group by, then we would decrease the amount of rows in the dataset. Now we apply filters. We take the dataset prompts, and we need prompt count to be greater or equal to 3. Second condition we have includes tokens being greater than average tokens. We save this new dataset into the dataset called filtered. Next step, we need to drop duplicates. We take a new dataset, we take the output columns, and we use the function drop duplicates. This should be our result. The last step is formatting. We need to round our average tokens to 2 decimal places. Finally, the result should be sorted. and we are ready to return the result. Let's run the code. We successfully solved this problem in Pandas. Which syntax did you prefer for this specific problem? Grouping and partition in SQL, or group by combined with transform in Pandas? Let me know in the comments.